Good morning. How are you? This is a wonderful morning, except the latter part of the day will not be so great as a dentist hammers away at my head. But until that time, I'm in a pretty happy mood. In the news today, there's a great story about this guy who threatened to kill the judge in the Flynn case because he didn't like what he was doing. And he's since been prosecuted, and he's won himself 18 months in the slammer. So I think that's kind of a nice result. That doesn't always happen, particularly when you consider that insurrectionists the other day got 8 months below the guidelines. What was that about? There is a problem about sentencing people who are, quote, like us. You know, the judge maybe identifies with the middle class upbringing of this person who may or may not have had that upbringing. But you can't ignore the sensational act that someone takes, something as outrageous as storming our Capitol. I mean, it's just unfathomable. There's also a break in the Weisselberg matter. Apparently, while sitting with officers, he made some remark about having to drive in every day, and that's why he had the apartment in Manhattan. Except the trouble was he misled everybody about what his real residence was, because it was for many years he had that residence, and he had a Mercedes, which is the only way to go to work. Nothing against the Mercedes, but when this guy is having our taxpayer dollars cover his income tax for having that Mercedes, well, then it's kind of something else. It may not be surprising to any of you, since it's been kind of, the handwriting's been on the wall from the beginning. The infrastructure deal, I don't think it's still written. Remember, there's a $1.2 trillion deal with the Republicans, and they probably want to pay for it with gas and diesel taxes. And then the $2.2 trillion Biden plan is now in excess of $3 trillion. And Chuck Schumer has yet to put it on the floor for a vote because it's not written yet, and there's not really an agreement. It's sort of like we're going to embarrass everybody into agreeing to something that maybe they never intended to agree to anyhow. So that's the infrastructure deal. Moving on to other mishaps. The select committee, you may remember, there were 5 Republicans going to be appointed to it, and they're going to have a hearing, I don't know, today, tomorrow. And they're going to go back to the police on the Hill. And hasn't that kind of been done? You know, sometimes you watch an old serial again because you remember it, but it was some time ago. We have had much more better coverage of that than the other aspects of it about who shot John on the Hill, which Republicans did what members of the White House did what members of the intelligence network did what they did or failed to do. So, surprise, surprise, one of the leading Republican members of the 5 added to the committee are No Jacket Jordan, which guarantees no work will get done. You know, how many times can people do the same thing? It's just kind of beyond me. And, well, let's finish up with the filibuster. Rather than the senators beat the living daylights out of people to have a filibuster, limited or not, having to do with the election, some Democrats are going down to Georgia to protest what Georgia is doing with its election law, when they have the power, if they vote against the filibuster, to deal with exactly what Georgia's trying to do, and Florida is trying to do, and Texas wants to do. I don't know. I just don't get it. So that's kind of my flash briefing today. There's several shots across the bow. We, of course, have the Jamaican president is now out, and he's alive, so that's kind of an improvement. Did I say Jamaica? Haiti. The acting president in Haiti is now out, and so that's an improvement because he's leaving office without being shot and killed. Someday we'll find out the behind-the-scenes explanation for how this game of political musical chairs has worked. So that's it for now. Good thing about going out early is it's cool, comfortable. So I hope you get out today. Hope it's anything like it is here where you are. All the best. Bye-bye.